All right, in this video, we're going to look at using the discriminant to determine the types of solutions to a quadratic equation. So the expression inside the square root, b squared minus 4ac, is called the discriminant. And the reason why we call it the discriminant, the b squared minus 4ac, is because it can tell us about the solutions to a quadratic equation. So inside the square root there, the result inside for b squared minus 4ac, one of three things is going to happen. Either when we calculate b squared minus 4ac, it's going to come out to be a negative value, which in this case, the discriminant is a negative value, which means there's no real values of x that make the original equation true. They are imaginary solutions or complex solutions, which we'll talk about in a future section. The discriminant could come out to equal 0. In other words, b squared minus 4ac, whatever it comes out to be for the values of a, b, and c, but the result is 0. Well, in that case, we would have negative b plus or minus 0, square root of 0 is 0, all over 2a. So in that case, since it's not adding and subtracting 0 is not going to change anything, we're only going to get one value of x that makes the original equation true, that solves the equation. And that's called a double root when that happens. Finally, the discriminant could be a positive result. So b squared minus 4ac could come out to be some positive number. And in that case, like we saw in the previous videos in this section, there are going to be two different or two unique values for x. So in addition, the discriminant can also tell you whether or not you could have used factoring to solve the quadratic equation you were given, because if the square root of b squared minus 4ac, so the square root of the discriminant, equals a rational number, in other words, a number that could be written as a fraction using two integers, or a decimal that doesn't terminate, or a decimal that either terminates or repeats. So if the square root of b squared minus 4ac comes out to equal a rational number, then your quadratic equation is factorable over the integers. In other words, much like the factoring we've looked at in the past, you only use integer values in factoring, something like 2x plus 1 times x minus 5, for instance. So, all right, that about does it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.